Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatley Tone's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video and I hope you're all doing well. Now today's video is all about swag. I've got some new things that I've added to my collection to show you, and it's mostly Beatles stuff, but there is some non-Beatles stuff in it, so I hope that's okay. I know we are a Beatles channel and we don't usually show non-Beatles stuff, but this stuff is quite interesting and a little bit different, so I think you'd like to see it. So in the Beatles stuff, there's sort of a few Beatles things that I'm going to show you, but in the Beatles stuff there is a great big Beatles box set that I've been after for absolutely ages, and I think that I've picked it up at a bargain price. Now I'm going to kind of leave the box set until the end of the video because it is kind of the highlight of the video. But where all these items have come from is from an auction. Now not an eBay auction, but an actual auction from an auction house. There's an auction house in little village out by Stansted Airport, and they were running a 3-day auction, and they had quite a lot of music stuff in their amongst their lots, you know, amongst the lots that they had for sale. Like for example, you could buy like a great big box stuffed full of random albums. You didn't know what the albums were, but you could bid on it, and you know, I was thinking about bidding on it, but I think usually when you get those sort of random boxes full of albums, you usually end up with more rubbish than good stuff. They're usually stuffed full of Neil Diamond albums, and you know, albums like, you know, the Salvation Army brass band play the hits of Steely Dan or something like that. So in the end I decided not to. So the only thing that I bidded on was the Beatles box set, but Mrs. Beatley Tone bidded on a couple of things unbeknown to me, but she bid on a couple of things and she won them, so I'm going to show you those in a minute. So the auction, it kind of works the same as eBay, so it wasn't like we didn't go down to the auction house and bloke with a hammer shouting out the amounts. It wasn't that kind of auction. It was an online auction. It kind of works the same way as eBay, as in, you know, you can see the time running down on the auction. You can see how many bids there are, you see how many people are watching, and you can make a maximum bid, and it will, you know, increment the price, you know, until it reaches that thing. So it works exactly the same as eBay. So it was online. But anyway, so the first thing that Mrs. Beatley Tone bid on was a kind of a lot of 3 items. So I'll show you those. So there is this Penny Lane sign. Now this isn't one of those tin ones, it's just a card one, but it is pretty nice. It's quite nice. And there's also this picture, which is also nice. It's one of those that's got that sort of a, you know, canvassy feel to it. But the piece de la resistance, as we like to say in London, was this. A 3D promotional, well, I want to call it a poster, but it's not a poster because it's not made of paper. It's kind of a hard sort of, you know, brittle plastic, but it's got this 3D Sergeant Pepper. I don't know if you can see the 3D. Is it coming over on the camera? I'm trying to turn it so you can kind of see, but it's absolutely lovely. A really nice poster, and you know, for those 3 items, she paid £6, and the poster itself has got a price on it there of £19.99, so £20 this would have cost you at the time. I'm guessing this is the sort of thing that, you know, record shops would have up on their wall when they're selling the album. So really pleased to get that, and I'm not sure about the other 2 items, but this one you'll definitely be seeing on my wall very soon. So when I said it would be on the wall soon, you probably didn't think it would be quite this soon. Okay, I'm now going to show you 3 records that are non-Beatles related that Mrs. Beatley Tone won in the auction. Now, I'm always a little bit hesitant about showing anything that isn't to do with the Beatles on this channel, because we are a Beatles channel primarily. But you know, I do own and I still buy a lot of music that isn't by the Beatles. So, you know, I would have plenty of scope to do, you know, videos on other bands or other records or whatever, if that is something that you'd like to see on this channel. If you do, then tell me about that down in the comments. If you're dead set against it and you think that this channel should just be Beatles, tell me about that as well, and I will take a view on whether I will do it or not. I can assure you there is plenty of Beatles topics still to cover on this channel, so no need to worry about that. Now, the first record that she got is this one, which is a single by The Police. Not the actual Police, because that would be rubbish, but the band The Police, Sting and his mob. This is Can't Stand Losing You, live in Boston, and on the B-side it's Roxanne, live in Boston. Now, this single came out in 1995, and it came out to promote the Police live album, which came out that year. Although the recordings of these two songs come from a gig in Boston in 1979, which was actually the same year as I saw the Police in London, maybe on the UK leg of that very tour. Now, this single sounds absolutely fantastic, sounds really good, especially as it, you know, it was recorded in 1979, but production on it is fantastic, and it's two great versions of these two singles. Now, the problem with this as a single is, it's a 7-inch single, but the whole thing is like 11 inches long, and it's quite difficult to see where the groove starts. Now, I'm not sure if you're picking it up on the camera, but it's around there, around the bottom of where it says live. That's where the circle begins. And of course, you know, when you're dropping your stylus on the record, you've got to be careful to get it, you know, on the actual record and not on the rest of the stuff, because as the thing goes round, your stylus is just going to drop off the edge and scrape along your mat. So you need to be careful of that, or I do anyway. But yeah, it sounds really great. Mrs. Beatley Tone, she paid 10 quid for that, which I thought was quite a good price for an item like that. Okay, on to the next one. This is a 12-inch single. Are you watching Larry Graves, you great big sexy Canadian stud muffin, you? This is a Sparks 12-inch single, and you probably caught a glimpse that it's on orange vinyl. It is Beat the Clock, which is also from 1979. This is the 12-inch version, which clocks it in at about 6 minutes 50. On the B-side there is just the normal version. This was when Sparks were working with Giorgio Moroder, and did the album Beat the Clock 1979. I played the long version of this, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's absolutely no spindle wear on that at all. Really fantastic. This is the sleeve, and on that, look at this rudeness, a nipple on a record sleeve. It was 1979. That sort of thing happened all the time. Well, not all the time. I mean, there's no nipples on Back to the Egg, is there? But yeah, really great. So Beat the Clock on Beat the Clock 12-inch single on orange vinyl. She paid £11 for that. Okay, and the final item is a 12-inch version of the Rolling Stones' Miss You, which fantastic song. I bought the 7-inch single when it came out in 1978. Now, this is off the album Some Girls from 1978, which is probably about my third favourite Stones album of all time. Never had the 12-inch single though, so I will show it to you, and it is gorgeous. It is on pink vinyl, looks fantastic against the yellow Rolling Stones label. Now, the 12-inch version is an extended version. It clocks in at 8 minutes 26, which means there's a couple of extra verses, there's extra vocal ad-libs, there's extra instrumental parts in it as well, which means that you get even more of Bill Wyman's fantastic bass playing on this track. The B-side is Far Away Eyes. That is the same as the album version. It's not extended or anything, it's just the regular version that you will find on Some Girls, and this one was quite expensive. This was 20 quid, but really pleased to have this. I've never actually heard the 12-inch version until I played it, and it sounds absolutely fantastic, so very pleased to have that. Okay, should we have a look at the box set now? Okay, so you've seen the thumbnail, so it's not going to come as any big surprise that the box set that I'm talking about is the Beatles Stereo Remasters from 2012, the LP box set. Now, I don't really need this box set. I've got all the individual albums on LP. I bought them all separately when I got back into vinyl in 2020. Excuse me. But I just wanted it. And I'm retiring next week, and so this was a kind of a little bit of a retirement present to myself. You know, I've got the 2009 CD remastered box set. I've got the 2009 mono CD box set, which I've done a video for on the channel, and I've got the 2014 mono LP box set, which I've also done a video for. But I didn't buy this when it came out because I wasn't back into vinyl at that point, and I had the CD box set. I didn't think that I needed it, but obviously once I got back into vinyl, I've been kind of watching these ever since, and they are really expensive. Now obviously the best price for this was about 300 quid. If you bought it in 2012, then you would have got it for 300 quid. That would have been the best time to buy it, but sadly I missed that opportunity. So I'll tell you how the auction went. It was a 3-day auction. The first 2 days there was nothing on it. There was just a few watchers, and I'm thinking this is like a little village in Essex. No one's going to be. There's not going to be any Beatles fans here. I'm going to get this for a bargain. The reserve price was 30 quid. Well, on the last day, the reserve price was met quite early. About 6 o'clock, I put in a bid of about 100 quid, and it was kind of, you know, as I say, it increments as people bid. It increments by £10 or £5 at a time, and for quite a while I was still the highest bidder. About sort of 8 o'clock-ish, it went in about 200. It went to about 200, and I put in a bid of 250, and it was still the highest bidder up until about 10 o'clock. It was finishing at 11 o'clock, and the next time I looked at it, it had gone up to 390. It had gone up to It had gone up to 390. So I waited and I waited and I waited. I waited till there was about 20 seconds to go, and I'm already thinking, oh, you know, 400 is probably the absolute maximum I want to pay for this, because like I say, I don't need it, I just want it. So 400 quid was the most. About 20 seconds to go, I put in a bid for 400, and literally as it got to 5 seconds left, it added another 5 minutes to the auction, which I've never seen before. I've never ever seen that before, and but it did it. And so I'm sitting there just watching the clock tick down, thinking, oh well, someone's going to come in with a bigger bid, but I'm not going any higher than 400. But no one did. No one did come in with a bigger bid, so I got it for 400, and I think that is a really good price. And I'll tell you why. I think it's a really good price. Because first of all, the reason why I didn't want to go over 400 was because of the blurb on the auction site about this box set. It didn't really do it any favours. It just said, yes, all the albums are here. It's in very good condition. That is literally all it said. So if you've ever bought anything on eBay, if you bought a second-hand record on eBay before, you'll know that very good condition is not that great condition. Normally, if I'm buying a second-hand record on eBay, I normally go for mint or near mint. Very good condition means that there's no jumps or scratches on it or anything like that, but there's probably like a lot of surface noise, so I don't normally go for very good condition, but that's what I assumed that these records would be like. So I didn't really want to go any more than 400 on it. So anyway, the next day, Mrs. Beatley Tone went down and she picked up her stuff, and she picked up this as well. And when I opened it, the book was sealed. I've opened it now, but the book was sealed. And I opened the box and started getting the records out, and please me, it's sealed with the Beatles. Sealed. Hard Day's Night, sealed. Beatles for sale, sealed. I'm not going to do them all. The whole box set was sealed, so it is brand new. It's never been played. So really, the auctioneers, they didn't really do the seller any favours by just saying it's in very good condition, because it is a sealed box set. Now, if you look on eBay now, there's a few on there on eBay that say that they're new or they're sealed or whatever. £1,512. There's another one here, £942. Another one, £848. And a Japanese one, £1,478. There is a used one on there, and it's about 500 quid, but it's got a great big dink in the box, and obviously the record, it's a used one. So for 400 quid for brand new records, never been played, still sealed, I think that's a bargain. I think that is a bargain. So I was really pleased to get a sealed one, but now I've got this dilemma, because if you know me and you watch this channel, you know that I don't keep anything sealed. I am the president of the Sealed Records Liberation Front, or the Liberation Front of Sealed Records, so I can't keep these sealed, but I don't need to open them because I've got all the records already, so I've got a record to play, but I just can't keep them sealed. I have to open them. So in the next video, I'm going to be doing the whole box set, sealed to revealed. I'm going to open them all up in the video, and you'll see all the records. I'll also show some of the book. This book is fantastic, 252 pages. I haven't read it, but I've flicked through it, and I would say this is easily the best hardback book in any of the Beatles box sets that we've had so far. So I'll show a bit of that as well in the next video, so please stay tuned for that. This is the slipcase that it comes in, which you've probably seen before. I took it off of this because it's quite tight. I don't really like the slipcase, but it's got everything. So that is the story. So that is what I've got. So I'm not going to open them now because we've already been here nearly 20 minutes. So the video would go on for ages. But next video I'm going to open all of these, all 13 albums plus the past masters. 16 LPs in here altogether. White Album is a double, obviously. Past masters is a double, and you'll see it all on the next video. So please stay tuned to the channel. That video will happen at the weekend. If it's a nice day, we'll do it in the garden, get the whole box open, and have a look at the book as well. Now, if you want to tell, what do you think? Do you think that I should be opening these, or should I be leaving it sealed? Do tell me down in the comments, or anything you want to say about anything I've shown in this video, or if you want to tell me whether you've got this box set or you haven't got this box set or any of the other records that I've got. Please do so down in the comments. You know, I love to hear from you, and I will read all your comments, and I will respond to all your comments as well. Now, if you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be fantastic. If you're seeing this channel for the very first time, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing. We'd love to have you on board and get involved with the channel. Okay, that is it from me. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you at the weekend. Bye bye.